Test. Good evening and welcome to the November 18th, 2025 meeting of the City of Beacon Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is Jordan Haug, and I'm the chairman of this board. Joining us tonight are all my fellow board members, our city attorney, the zoning board secretary, and our building inspector. Thank you all for what you do. The application materials that will be discussed tonight, including any proposed resolutions and other documents, will be available on the city's website. Also on the city's website is a link to the rules and procedures of the Zoning Board of Appeals. I'll take a minute now to explain the board's procedures. We'll hear each application in the order that I decide. For each application, we will hear first from the applicant, then we'll open the floor to the comments to the public. If you wish to comment, please step forward to the podium and state your name and address for the record. All comments should be addressed towards the board, not the applicant or city staff. Yeah, okay. That's my intro for now. All right. So, should we do administrative work first or second, George? Yeah, I like to get it out of the way. All right, so we have a regular agenda item and then miscellaneous business, because miscellaneous business tends to take less time than a public hearing. I will ask for a motion to call, this is not a public hearing, to call miscellaneous business agenda item number 1 to order.
Motion to call miscellaneous business item number 1 to order.
Motion by, Elaine, second by Judy, all in favor? Aye. All right. Could the applicant for the extension please approach? Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Eddie Mavrai, representing 6 Cliff Street. We're filing for an extension on an approval from 6 months ago for a 2-family structure. We have our building permit under review currently. We went through the planning board as well. We were at the zoning board first, got approved, went to the planning board, and hence the lapse of the 6-month time, just requesting an extension.
One extension of 6 months or 2 extensions?
I believe they put 2 as just a safeguard. 1 is more than sufficient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to that extent, I was able to speak with the applicant's attorney earlier today, and they had indicated they had requested 2 6-month extensions to cover their bases. Since putting in the request, I understand that the building permit has been filed, or an application for a building permit has been filed with the building department. Today. Yes, so their counsel indicated that 6 months will be sufficient, notwithstanding, assuming there's no hiccup in the review of the building permit.
And so then they have, remind me
the famous question.
Yeah, remind me of the deadlines.
So as it is right now, let me pull up the.
While you're doing that, can I ask the question?
Go ahead.
The application that was for the 2 6-month extensions, right?
There's an application, they put that in their request, but they are okay with having 1 6-month extension, which is the typical process with the ZBA when we issue extensions. So the typical deadlines that we always say are variance, right, void if you fail to obtain a building permit within 6 months from the date of the adoption of the resolution, commence construction within 6 months following the date of issuance, and complete construction within 24 months. A 6-month extension pushes everything back. So essentially they would have had 12 months from the date to get the building permit, 6 months from there to commence construction, and then 24 months thereafter.
And they were in front of planning, though, after us.
Yes. So I think part of it, typically when there's applications that go between multiple boards, we link it to the expiration tied to the final land use approval. I believe this one was determined that it goes for site plan approval after they had already received the variance. So that's why we're in this sort of conundrum here. But they did receive site plan approval. That was in the applicant submission, and they filed
submitted
the
a building
application
permit,
for the
right.
building permit.
Right.
Correct.
So in theory, are we also giving an extension to the other deadlines?
The whole resolution gets pushed
Yeah,
back 6 months. But because the other deadlines tie into when the building permit's obtained, essentially, you're not really, I mean, there's an extension of
Yeah,
time,
yeah, but
but...
not really, right?
Yeah, because they would have had that time
Yeah,
anyway.
So, because if you, in theory, if you get the building permit on day one after we give the variance, you have 6 months from that date for the next deadline. If you
Correct.
got it the last day of the expiration, you have...
6 months
yeah,
from
okay,
that day,
all right.
correct.
Okay,
So this 6 months is essentially giving them the time to have,
right.
you know,
But Bruce
obtain
could,
the...
Bruce could issue it...
Brian,
Friday.
Yeah.
And then it's 6 months from then.
correct.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
No.
Okay. Could I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Stout. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye? All right,
Thank you.
very good. All right. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing on agenda item number 1?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Judy. Second by Montos. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And our applicant for agenda item number 1 is appearing via Zoom, and you may present.
Yeah, hi. So we're asking for a variance. We're putting, want to put a studio next to the garage and right by the pool and a bathroom. So we're hoping to get that variance. The neighbor in the back is the one who would be most affected, and they're fine with it. Their house is further away, and the neighbor on the other side is fine too. So I'm hoping that it will be approved.
When you say studio apartment for rent?
So no, okay, so I own the house, and my daughter and her kids just moved into the house. So I am wanting to have a space where I can sleep, where it would be separate, and when we would share the house. So there wouldn't be a kitchen, there would just be a place to sleep and a bathroom. And it wouldn't be rented out.
It would be rented out?
No, it would not be.
It would not be.
I'm there about 4 months out of the year.
So owner occupied?
Yes, exactly.
And you do realize that it could not be used for short-term rentals?
No, I have no intention of renting it out, absolutely none.
I'm just trying to see where it's going.
This is it.
So, yeah, it's right next to, so the garage.
Is that the pool?
And it's gonna be right attached to the garage. Right between the garage and the pool.
Where that awning is in the pictures?
Exactly, yeah.
So on
is like
the
the
survey, it's identified as roof area, is that correct?
Let's see, let me go to the survey. It's not the roof, no, because I think what you're looking at is the garage.
So I'm looking at a structure next to the in-ground pool that is labeled roof area, and it has a walkway going over to the driveway.
Okay, so you're looking at the original, survey? So, oh, I see the roofing area. Yeah, that is well, yeah, so that's the overhang, there's like a little overhang roof there. That's where it would go, exactly.
So that overhang roof would come down and the new structure would be put in its place?
Yeah, it's just one of those cheap, 1950s, I think aluminum roofs you've seen around. So it's really easy to take down. So so the structure would go right there, it would be right against the garage.
So so it wouldn't be replacing.
Right,
She just said it would, this would come down.
No, that would come down, it has to come down. It's just a simple little, like aluminum 1950s, screwed-in kind of roof.
If you pull it up,
It's an overhang, I call it an overhang, not so much a roof, yeah,
that's the top of the garage.
yeah.
Ms. Stim, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
just for the board's clarification, looking
Yeah.
at the architectural drawings that were provided, the three
Right.
sheets,
Right,
for clarity, I don't know if it's in front of you, on the first page, in the bottom left corner, it is that blacked-out figure, correct? Between the in-ground pool and the building there?
No, the garage.
The
Between the
garage?
garage and the pool.
Yeah.
yeah, it's between the house and the garage.
So that blacked-out figure there is what the board is looking at? Okay.
Right, I can't see what you're looking at. But, okay, so you see the architect's drawing of the studio and bath, right?
In the back, the last page.
Yeah.
Okay, so the studio is exactly attached to the garage.
And so on sheet A1, if you look at sheet A1, is
Yeah,
that,
I don't have the big sheets in front of me, I only have the smaller ones, so I'm trying to figure out what that is. So sheet A1, yeah. I don't have any sort of blacked out area on what I have.
That's like a pool house now,
It's a pool house?
sort of.
No, there's no pool house. Oh boy, I wish you could see it. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there. It's just a roof over there. So there's a space between the garage and the pool, and that's where it would be going. That's where the structure would be attached to the garage.
That makes it so much easier. Okay, You
Yes.
see that?
Yeah.
Do you see it now?
Yeah, we're looking at another picture which looks like it's already there.
Oh, no. Nothing's there.
Okey-doke.
So the bathroom would be sort of going along the steps going down from the deck. So there's a deck on top of the garage. When you open the door to the house, you're out on the deck.
So I guess one of the things that we tend to like to do
Yeah.
is to limit variances in the footprint that they already exist. So my reading of this is that
Yeah.
there's currently a 10.3 foot setback from the corner of both the garage and the current roofed area and your neighbor. And you're extending that or reducing the setback, I suppose, from 10.3 to 5.5. So I guess the question is, and one of the things that we have to consider is it the minimum variance necessary? And so my question is, why could you not stay within the footprint that you already are?
Meaning, go up to the end of the garage?
Yes.
Because, just because I needed a bigger space for, like, to get a bed in, and then to have a table, and I need 2 closets, so the closet came out on that end, and, yeah, but in actuality, though, my neighbor doesn't care, and their house is, even the person who came out from the building department didn't think it would be a problem, because the house in back of me is set back so far.
It's set back from the front.
The front of their house is on Washington Street, and so they have this huge backyard, and it sort of goes uphill, and there's a trampoline at the very top that no one even uses, but they don't even care. I mean, they're fine with it. They didn't object to it. And so I don't see why there's a problem. Yeah.
I don't see where she's coming out of the footprint.
So it's neighbor in back of me, the O'Brien, Stephanie O'Brien and Rob Barber.
Yeah.
Could you simply just move the whole plan just forward on your lot in that space by the 5 or so feet extra you're asking for?
So if I took, I guess, I don't know how, it just would work out so much better if it was the way it was. So if it's not a problem that it's only 5.5 feet.
Well, see, that's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, so why would it be a problem?
Because you're asking for a variance.
You've already have
Yeah.
an out of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Compliant.
An out of compliance situation, and now
Yeah.
you're going further out of compliance rather than staying, you'd still need a variance to put this in.
Right, right,
If it stayed
right.
within the line of the house,
Right,
that is preferable.
right, right.
And your neighbors now might not have any problem with it, but
Uh-huh.
we have to worry about all,
The next generation.
yeah. So it's not just about them. So why
Right.
don't you just move it up and line it up in the back?
Right, I understand, yeah. So, how can we work on this together?
I don't know what you mean by work on this together.
Like, how can we get it to work for both of us? Yeah,
Move it in line with the existing structure,
Yeah,
Yeah, just move it back.
and don't go further out of compliance than you already are.
you just line the whole back up together.
so,
Or tell us why you can't.
Yeah,
okay, so I can't because I can't go any further in the other direction because the stairs are there, that's why.
oh, okay.
That's why we had to do it. So that's why we put the closet like in between where the bed and then where the eating area would be, because it's a narrow space, yeah.
And this is the thing too, right? I was looking at this, and I'm like, well, how does that work? But this goes like this.
Well, I'm sure that's
So-
probably still more, well, I don't know.
Yeah. 27? No.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
This is 75,
Across, yeah.
right? But is this
So this is
27?
So this
Is
here you go,
that
here we
three
go.
codes?
I think this is 37. Oh, no, that's
Okay.
degrees. So this is
27.
27, yeah, 27 feet. There you go. You know what you're talking about. Yeah, from here to here. So this is in the setback too.
Yep.
And why couldn't you put the addition on the other side
The other side of where?
of the house?
Oh, there wouldn't be enough room, and that would definitely be, because, no, there's just, that's an interesting question, we never even thought of doing that. I think it would, of course, there's windows, the living room's on the other side of the house, and I don't know, the structure would be all crazy. It would be harder to get to. The pool, there's already a walkway from the driveway to the pool, so it's really easy to get to that area. It's just a natural place to put the structure. Yeah, like if you saw the property. I wish you could see the property to see that it's like the other property is so far back. Even if they added onto their house, no way. I mean, they would have to add like 10 houses of theirs to make it even close to my house.
And what's the dimensions of the proposed?
The proposed structure, it looks like it's 32 feet without the closet. And I unfortunately don't have, and I guess the closet must be another, closet's usually 2 feet wide, so
The
maybe,
plan says 32 feet long
yeah,
by
that,
11 feet 6 inches. Pardon me?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, 11 inches.
Oh, yeah, the closet, 34 and a
feet.
half.
34 and a half?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. And that includes the bathroom. So, yeah, I wanted to have a,
I still have the question that somebody else raised, I don't know who, but why couldn't you just move
Because of these
this
stairs.
closet? Why does it have anything to do with the stairs? I mean, why couldn't you move the closet back to this back of the garage? I'm assuming it's the back, whatever.
The back end, because then there wouldn't be.
In the picture, the top end of the garage, why can't you just push this back a few feet?
Or put the closet where you walk through the bathroom into the closet.
Wait, put the closet where you walk through the bath, because there already is a linen closet in the bathroom when you walk in from the pool. And then there has to be two closets. I don't know how,
I understand that, but there's
yeah.
a
I'm trying to
wall.
figure out where else I could put the closet. I couldn't put it towards the pool, because that would take up too much space.
The same way you tacked it on the back.
Put it on the front of the bathroom, you mean?
Yeah,
Oh, but then that would be sort of odd because the toilet's in the bathtub's right there, so how would I get in the closet?
Oh, and it goes across that wall.
See, I used to be an interior designer, so I'm pretty familiar with space issues. Yeah. So we worked on this really hard, I can tell you that, to try to make it work.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Is this a mother-daughter situation, something like that?
Well, my daughter's living in the house with the kids, yeah.
And this will be your space?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, when I come for, usually come May and June, and then September, October. But then I could come when I want to come. Yeah. So,
Okay, do we have enough? Does anybody do we want to hear that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure. Anyone from the public wish to speak on this application? Sure. You just state your name and address for the record.
Yep. My name is William Miller, and address?
Like your mail, yeah.
So listening through this
Your
is...
address.
No, your address.
Your address.
Oh, sorry, 61 Beacon Street.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry, so to the board, listening through this, it's kind of random, we're here for another purpose, just kind of for my daughter's scout requirement. But I do live here in Beacon, and, I have looked at different times, different zoning laws and such, and I'm wondering, all the houses are pretty tight in Beacon, at least where I live, and 5.5 seems fair. I heard 10 feet or 10 some odd feet is the new...
this is a different zone, this is a,
Oh, this is a different area.
this area is a different area.
Okay, so they
It's
they
not
want more
the
space.
50 by 100 lots.
Okay.
So just to help you, so the zoning is much greater than 10 required. Currently, they have an existing structure that is out of compliance. It only has 10.3,
Where 35 is
where
required.
35 is required. The ask is to take it further out of compliance.
Right. Okay,
So I'm just
now
trying to
I'm
explain so this
understanding
way.
a little more.
Yeah, so you understand it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that's the discussion. Do we take an existing out of compliance further out of compliance? Or do we make it the minimal requirement, put the structure up, leave it within the existing out of compliance where the 10.3 is there, where 35 is required?
Right, so there's
Is that
kind of-
helpful?
So you're gonna need a variance kind of...
Needs a variance
Either way.
either way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Gotcha,
But we're just trying to take an existing one not further out of compliance.
understood. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, of
very
course.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, and the documents are gonna be online?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. That's cool. Any other questions?
So we're talking less than 5.5 feet off of 32. Okay, I don't remember any further.
Okay. Can I have a motion to close the public hearing on agenda item number 1?
So moved.
Motion by Stowe. May I have a second?
Second.
A second by Judy. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. go through our test.
Handy dandy.
Yes. As to whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by granting of the area variance. The board finds that.
No, I don't think it will create any kind of detriment to the neighborhood. It's kind of spread out back there, and it's got an unusual lot going on there, lot line. And her neighbor is very far away from her, so, no, I don't think it'll create any kind of undue bad quality for the neighborhood.
Anyone else want to add or contest?
I don't disagree.
I think it's always the case that, increasing the variance being asked is a negative, but this doesn't seem that significant. And the kind of thing you might imagine doing as a means of minimizing it would be minimal. It's like small changes. So I agree with others.
Yeah, I don't think this factor is prohibitive. I don't think it would make a difference to the character of the neighborhood one way or the other on at least factor one.
I agree.
As to whether the benefit the applicant seeks can be achieved through another method feasible for the applicant to pursue that does not require the area variance.
Yes. I think you could build on the other side. It doesn't look like that's really been fully explored.
Build on the other side of the house?
Yes.
I think the applicant explained that would,
Yeah.
wouldn't really be.
Block windows.
You know, it's going to block
I-
windows,
that- yeah,
it's going to
we-
be on the other side of the living room. This is the least disruptive of getting
Yeah.
her a little private place at her.
And it definitely wouldn't go with that. I don't think the other neighbors would like it at all, because it would be much closer to the neighbors on the side. Yeah. Actually, I don't even think it would work. I don't think there's enough room. Yeah.
So,
Or I think it could be moved forward more.
Can't really be moved forward because of the steps.
Well, you'd have to change the layout, and it might not be your ideal layout.
Yeah, it would have to,
It could
the
be.
whole thing would have to be much smaller. It really wouldn't be comfortable at all. Yeah.
I think she went through everything. I think we questioned her fairly vigorously on what else she could do, and she's given us good reasons for why she couldn't. So my answer is no.
Yeah, the building person who came out seemed to think it was fine. Yeah.
As to whether the requested variance is substantial.
Yes,
Yes.
area-wise, yes.
I mean, yeah, it is a request to reduce 35 feet to 5.5 feet. I would say that is mathematically substantial.
Although we would have been less concerned if it was in line with the current line of the garage, which was 10 whatever. So, but still, it's still significant relative even to the existing variance, the out of compliance level.
Yeah.
I will say on this factor as well, obviously, it's not just mathematical, so if you could also speak to the impact, for example. It could be a substantial mathematically, but, you can also feel that, food for thought, I'm not saying to go either way.
Right.
About the impact, the cumulative impact of the variance.
Yeah, I mean, I think the impact is mitigated by the way that the applicant has explained the neighbor is relatively located to her house. I think that mathematically and where this is, even if that she complied with some of our questioning and moved it, it would still be substantial mathematically, but it may not be a difference maker one way or another relative to where the neighbor is because of where the neighbor is.
So I guess what I don't understand is we talk about the steps, the existing steps being there today. Couldn't the bathroom be pulled forward 5 feet, 4.5 inches? And couldn't the closet be, I assume this outlet is a closet here, all the way in the back.
Yeah.
Couldn't the closet then sit between the studio and the bath that's pulled forward? I mean, many designs walk through a closet before they go into a bathroom.
But
Well, I don't understand how that would work, because then
Pulling
you're
the
giving up
bathroom,
your closet space to walk into the bathroom.
she's going to need to add space in order to do that, because the way the tub goes, it goes across the back wall. So there's no walking through it. So she would
no,
have.
that's not what I said.
Oh,
No,
I'm
he's saying
sorry.
go through the
What I said,
closet to
let
get to
me
the
let me
bathroom.
repeat what I said.
Oh, go to the closet to get to the bathroom.
Correct.
Right.
What I said is pull the bathroom forward 5 feet,
Right.
4.5 inches. It doesn't impede your existing steps. It actually gives you a little bit more of enclosure to the steps. Then you don't have to exceed the backyard, because then you could have the bathroom, the closet, the studio. Well, you're in
With the
studio-
bathroom, the closet, just don't understand where the closet, how do you get from the if the closet is gonna be right in front of the bathroom, how do you get into the bathroom?
You walk,
walk
it's,
through the
you make it a
closet.
walk-through closet.
You make it a walk.
But then it's not a closet anymore. You're using up all that space, that 2.5 feet, or whatever it is, to go of that closet, so it's sort of useless.
You
Well,
could pull
you
the
do lose some
bathroom
of this.
is all the way up to, as far as to the front, to
Nah,
that other
so it really wouldn't work, you'd have to be there to see that it really would look pretty ugly to pull it forward anymore. We sort of went as far as we could go. I mean, I don't know what to do about the bathroom, yeah. Yeah, no, we really worked hard on this, I
You
can
could
tell you.
also, if you don't want to walk through your closet into the bathroom, you could bring the closet to the front and put it up in front of your bathroom. So you can go studio bathroom closet.
Wait, that I don't understand. So you're putting the bathroom, you're putting the closet in the bathroom there?
You walk through the
You
bathroom to
walk
get
through
to,
the bathroom to get into your closet.
So the closet.
a lot of new construction does that.
See that, well, I don't understand how where you would put the closet then. Because the bathtub has to be in that corner there, where you want to put the closet.
Plumbing is and everything else, okay.
See, all the plumbing has to be right there because it's closer to the other plumbing.
Right, right.
Yeah, I mean, we really worked this out. If we could have done it,
They
believe
tried.
me, we would have done it. No, we worked really hard on this, yeah.
Okay, so she's saying, no, there's no other way that they could do it.
Yeah, the only other thing is just like I'd have to make this really small space, which would be pretty uncomfortable. I don't know if we would be able to do anything, yeah. So,
Okay.
As to whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district.
No.
No.
No, I
No.
don't. I don't.
No,
Yeah, I don't think that this, this factor is relevant, as to this application.
No.
As to whether the alleged difficulty is self-created.
yes.
Oh, yes.
Of course, all right. And so then, I think the last point, right? So as to whether the board finds the variance requested is or is not the minimum variance necessary and adequate to preserve and protect the character of the neighborhood and the health, safety, and welfare of the community.
Could you say those last?
Sure, yeah, so I'll just repeat it. Whether the board finds that the requested variance is or is not the minimum variance necessary and adequate to preserve and protect the character of the neighborhood and the health, safety, and welfare of the community.
I don't think the variance that's being asked for will impact the health, safety, or welfare of the neighborhood.
I agree.
I agree with that, but I don't agree that it's the minimum variance.
I agree with you on that. Because it could be smaller, still sufficient for its purpose, I mean, they have a plan, they have a design they've dreamed
And
up.
she's an
But it's
interior
not necessarily
designer.
it's not necessarily the only design you could come up with.
Well, for what the purposes that that I'd like it to serve, I want it to be at least a pleasant place to be, not just a tiny little cell. Yeah. So I understand your concerns. Yeah, but I'm just trying to work with you.
When you say work with us,
Yeah.
have you offered any changes to the plan that you've presented so far?
I wish I could. I'm looking at it really hard, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it. It's going to be hard. I mean, I just spent a lot of time just to come up with this, and it's pretty minimal as it is as a living space.
How
But
many square feet is it?
what's that?
How many square feet is the studio?
Oh God. Let's see. I don't have my calculator here. So somewhere, I think in the application it says. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. 300 and something.
311 or 33, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Almost 12.
but it's pretty small. And there's no kitchen.
368 square feet.
Oh.
11.6 or 11.5
Yeah.
times 32.
Yeah.
368 square feet.
Is that what it says in the application?
That's what it says on the survey plan.
Yeah, but the whole place isn't
It would technically be a
11.6
little
wide.
less because it's not a perfect rectangle.
Yeah, it's
Generally around
definitely,
there.
yeah, it's definitely less than that. It was on the application, but I
330
can't
and
find.
350 probably.
Of living space.
It was
Right. This is-
definitely smaller.
this is not
Oh, wait a
the
second.
76.
Addition, have a guessing. Addition will be approximately 360 square feet. Approximately 360 square feet. Wait a second, is that, oh, that's from the
Did
architect.
the building coverage change at all?
No, I don't know if it's even that much.
The lot coverage?
That was the architect's. But I don't know where that original application
Yeah, I'm
is.
not really worried about that. George, when reading that last, the minimum variance necessary, it's not a factor, whatever, what are we calling it, clause?
It's not a factor, correct, but it is a consideration under general city law, section 81B, and I'm sure in the city's,
Do you,
Zoning code
do
as
you interpret that to mean we are to be, it's like, do you tie the minimum variance necessary? Is it specific to preserving and protecting the character of the neighborhood and the health, safety, and welfare of the community? Or is it the minimum variance necessary? Like,
so maybe this could help answer that question. General city law, the New York State law, that applies says, the Board of Appeals in the granting of area variances shall grant the minimum variance that it shall deem necessary and adequate, and at the same time preserve and protect the character of the neighborhood and the health, safety, and welfare of the community.
so they're kind of two different things.
It's almost like it has to be the minimum necessary and adequate while at the same time,
Yeah, okay.
correct.
Yeah, but then what's the definition of adequate?
Adequate to its purpose.
Adequate for
Do we have
what?
any more
Or
factors?
to whom?
No,
You guys went through the factors, this is just the final sort of step, because in granting area variances, it must be, shall be the minimum necessary and adequate, and at the same time, preserve and protect the character. So it's almost like it's two considerations. One, is it the minimum necessary and adequate? And the question is, up to you guys to decide, for what purpose? And two, if it is it still preserving preserving and protecting the character of the neighborhood and the health, safety, and welfare.
So I could turn that around and say, I could imagine having a different proposal in front of us that would be less of a request for variance and would still support her goals for the purpose, the adequacy of what she wants, and would still support the health, welfare, and other concerns for the community.
Yeah,
But-
I don't think that
got a
even
but.
applies, the health, wealth, and well-being of the neighborhood. I don't think it applies
I think
to
it's just a
this.
generic term of,
Yeah, it
you don't
could
want
apply.
overbuilding
It could apply in a different
context.
context is good.
Mm-hmm.
In a different property, it would, it could, but in this, I don't think it really impacts on health, wealth, and
Yeah,
safety.
I agree with you, Judy. I don't think it impacts there.
Yeah,
I think
but the
chal-
minimum thing,
Yeah, the challenge, the challenge I'm having is the two factors of self-created and taking an already non-compliant out of further non-compliant. It's the combination of those two things
Right.
that are troubling me right now.
What was
Right,
your
so-
buck gonna be, Sto?
Well, my point was that you can imagine a different proposal where the building would not be extending the request for, more variance. And, the applicant tells us that they worked really long and hard and they have this design, but I can't believe it's the only design for that space.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to understand why.
I wish you could see the space. Yeah, I really wish you could see the space.
I would
Yeah.
also like to understand why couldn't the bath be moved forward?
Exactly.
I mean, you're gonna break ground anyway to tap into plumbing there. I mean,
I'm with you.
sometimes cost can be prohibitive if you're trying to, a lot of people, they put a laundry room in, they'll put it in where it was.
But shouldn't-
But
because-
we've had no
Shouldn't that be
discussion
shown
of
to us?
cost, and it's not in any of our factors.
yeah.
I'm just
You
saying,
had,
she couldn't.
Oh, yes, this was the least expensive place to put it right next to the garage, just to add it onto the garage. There's no way, we could have done it in the front of the house, on the other side, or the back of the house, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not discussing the other side of the house.
Yeah.
That's, like, who knows what
Yeah.
that is. But
Do we want to, what do we want to do?
There was definitely a lot of thought that went into this, I can tell you, yeah.
I'm not convinced.
Yeah, the building person who came out didn't seem to think it was going to be a problem, but I'm seeing that there's a lot of discussion. It wasn't even.
And just for the edification
Yeah.
of the applicant and for the public,
Yeah.
it's not on the building department
Yeah.
to say what,
Yeah,
they're to interpret the code,
yeah,
and then your appeal of the code is to the board. And so
Yeah.
I suppose they could have an opinion
yeah,
as to what the board might do.
yeah,
But I would also imagine they are probably the ones that sent you to us.
Well, yeah, they have to, right?
Well, they
So
denied
then-
well, I guess they were there and they saw the property
They
and
must
they
know,
could.
they might have an
they-
opinion, but they must know an appeal is needed, right?
Sure.
A variance is needed.
Yeah, yeah, but they saw the property, they saw where it was gonna go, they could see what the situation is, they saw how far the neighbors were, and so he just thought, oh, if the neighbors aren't, anyway, so that was his take on it, so I sort of wish you could see the property, so you could see how well it would work there, yeah,
I have seen aerial pictures of the property,
okay,
and I know where your neighbors are in
Yeah.
relation to your house and what
Yeah.
outbuildings they have in relation to your house. And yes, they are set very far
Yeah.
back from your house.
yeah. Thank you.
And the other thing, the other point is, the other point is that the house and everything that's out of compliance in the house, that's always been out of compliance. So it's not like they've been building on and, asking for more and more and more.
Except now they are.
Well, we don't have a history of when the garage got added on, when the in-ground pool was put in.
But the house
Yeah, but
itself,
there are other
is
things
out of
that are
compliance.
out of compliance, too.
right?
No,
Yeah,
this is not out of compliance.
It's not? The back of the house?
existing 2.5-story wood frame is not. That 1-story might be, but who knows when that happened, and who knows when the pool happened.
The pool was in the 50s.
So I think the issue is, right, at least for me, speaking for myself as a member of the board, I don't know if I can vote yes tonight on this variance because I haven't been shown why any of the other designs, hypothetical designs that we are probably imagining in our mind can't work. I don't think, for me, the applicant has, I think she's attempted to, but I don't think she has described to me actually why they don't work, other than pretty much preference, which, like, cool. I mean, yeah, we all want what we want, but I don't think I've been told, like, why actually mathematically or structurally or for some reason that I consider legitimate can't happen. So I don't think I can vote yes on this variance tonight until I have that information. And so I'm putting that out there for anyone else to react to.
Could you, to the applicant, could you have your architect come in front of us?
I wish he could be there, yeah. I wish he was there tonight. So how would that work for you want him to come to the next meeting then?
Yeah, so essentially, we
Yeah.
would not deny you because
Yes.
that's not in our practice, right? And
Right.
so our practice would be to hold over the application, and then you would have another opportunity at the next meeting, which would be, we'll get a date at the end of the meeting, when that is in December. And then, yeah, you would in theory, at least based on what I've just said, have a professional or yourself explain why, other designs would not be adequate.
And that you looked into it.
Okay, so it's not that surely I looked into it because I didn't intentionally want to go back that far, and I think the first design wasn't that far, and then he had the idea to put the closet there and thought to do the variance. So, yes, I could make the whole thing. So I guess you would want to see a design where we didn't go back, we just went to the end of the
Yeah.
garage.
Well, I guess what would be helpful is
Yes.
that first design
Yes,
that did not go back, explaining why that was no longer found viable.
okay, so the first design did go back a little, but then we added the closet to it, so we added that 2.5 feet.
So you were going correctly with your first statement. We would prefer to see a design that's in
Yes.
line with the
Say that again?
existing structure.
Say that again,
That's
Monty.
10.3 feet as the existing structure is.
Or a demonstrable reason why it can't be done.
I think you should restate that because I don't think she heard the first part of your statement.
Thank you, yeah,
Oh, okay, so my statement was,
yeah,
I'm not speaking for the full board, I'm speaking
Yeah.
for myself. If the full board agrees, that's fine, but speaking for myself, I would like to,
What do you say?
He said,
not
hold the mic
speaking for the
closer.
full board, just speaking for myself, I would like to see a design that is in line with the existing structure that is currently 10.3 feet from the property line. That would, I think, mitigate a lot of the concerns that I have, and everyone can speak for themselves, but from my
Yeah.
perspective, that would mitigate a lot of my concerns. And
Okay,
if
so
for
what
some
that would
reason-
look
hold on,
like,
let me
then that
finish.
would
Let me-
just-
Please allow me to finish. And
Oh,
if for
sorry.
some reason
yeah,
that couldn't be accomplished to meet your needs,
Yeah.
I'd like to have someone be able to speak to specifics as to other options and why other options wouldn't work.
I completely concur with that.
Me too.
I agree.
okay, so, what that would look like then is just lop off that last 5 feet of the thing and have the line go all the way across, and so the whole space would come in about 5 feet, you're saying, correct?
I think there are plenty of other options to consider. I don't want to tell you, cut off.
No, I just want to know what you're thinking, because if that line did go across that way, would that make it appealing to you?
Yes.
Okay, so if we did that, then that would be, so that's what we have to try to work with. We have to make the square footage smaller, because there's no way I think we can go out the other way.
So let me restate, the reason, the rationale for that desire,
Yes.
that would make me more comfortable, is you're not taking the property further out of compliance of what it is today.
Right.
As
So,
long as you
and
don't take
that's
the
why I
property
guess what
further
we're
out
here
of
to,
compliance, as
Yeah.
long as you come back with an option that doesn't take the property further out of compliance of what it is today, I would feel a lot more comfortable approving.
Or if you came back and explained to us why that wasn't possible, then we might approve this plan. It's just, I don't think it's been demonstrated to us why you can't do that.
Well, you
Okay,
can't do
so-
anything else.
so you want to know why I can't make it smaller, is that correct?
No.
If I may, I think, maybe if I can clarify this, Ms. Stim, the board's duty in
Yeah.
granting any area variance is to minimize to the greatest extent possible the sort of non-compliance, because that's what an area variance is.
Right.
The board is looking at it right now as there's an existing garage that comes within X number of feet from the property line.
Right.
One way of minimizing that non-compliance is to say, well, this addition is going to be along that same line, so that X number of feet will remain X. So
Right.
what you could do, and this is, again, me trying to sort of crystallize what the board is saying, and please correct me if I'm wrong. One option is show a plan where this addition is along the line of that garage, so that X remains X. Another option is to come back with your architect, for example, and say, we looked into this, but that is not feasible for reasons 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
There's also additional options beyond that where maybe the 5.5 feet becomes 3.5 feet. Or maybe, any revision that you make can also include, for example, going wider or, closer to your pool, or pulling the bathroom further toward the front of the steps. So the board, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, you can revise this plan however you see fit to minimize that request of non-compliance, but you are not tied, the board isn't considering, I don't believe the board is considering, and the variance is not for square footage, the variance is for that setback. So you should be looking at how to minimize that setback request. If you go wider, the board may view that favorably. If you bring the bathroom closer to the front of the stairs, the board may view that favorably. But what they're concerned about is a distance from
I get it.
the property line.
I get it, yep. So, I guess, if we're gonna meet again in December, then, I'll have to do it on Zoom, and I'll have to get my architect to come. And, do I have to send out notices again?
So on that, I would say let's reopen the public hearing on the record tonight. And that way, no notice will be required because
Oh, good.
at this meeting, we closed it temporarily and we're opening
Sure.
it again.
And then, we're assuming that the variance won't be a larger request.
Correct. Ms. Stim, if your revised plan has a different variance necessary, you will have to renotice it, but if you bring it closer, that's, you're good.
Yeah.
Closer, further away from the property line, closer to the existing building.
Yeah, I get it. So just to let you know, I can't go any closer to the pool, and I can't go any further, so that's the restriction. The only restriction, if you want me to come in, the whole thing is gonna have to be much smaller, and I'm not sure if I can work with that. So, I'll talk to the architect, and we'll see what we can do.
Great, thank you.
But,
That's great.
yeah,
And keep in mind, and I always say this, any submission you have, I don't know what the deadline to submit materials is, Mercedes, but you could be in touch with Mercedes and her office to make sure that you get the submission, the same deadlines apply. So if you have new materials, you just have to submit them by the existing deadline for the next meeting.
yeah, it's usually like the next day. Okay, so,
One week from today, Tuesday, the 25th.
Tuesday, the 25th, I have to get it in? A new plan?
Well, you could all, of course, ask for an adjournment until January as well.
Correct. You don't, there's no obligation for you to come back in December. Should you need, you could ask for a request to come back in January.
Okay, sounds good. But you'll remember me, right?
We'll remember you.
All right, so I'm going to ask for a motion to reopen the public hearing on agenda item number 1 and then adjourn the public hearing on agenda item number 1 until...
Motion to reopen and also to adjourn.
Great. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Second. Motion by Montos, second by Stowe. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then, Mercedes, could you just let us know when the next meeting is?
Tuesday, December 16th.
All right, so the next meeting is Tuesday, December 16th. Can I have a motion to adjourn the November meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals?
So moved.
Motion, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Judy, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
But just one question, do I have to leave the sign out?
Yes.
Okay.